Hello everyone, welcome back. Jordan here from Artisan Electrics. Hope you're all doing okay out there. Today is another consumer unit change, and it's a bit of an interesting one today because the customer is actually a YouTube subscriber, and he's called me because he's terribly worried about the disastrous state of his electrics, and he wants me to come and sort them all out before he has a few things done around the house. So this is the consumer unit. Now it doesn't look too bad. It's not like hideously old, it's not sort of an antique or something like that, but it's definitely time for an upgrade because, as you can see, there's no RCD protection for most of these circuits. It is an old plastic MEM board, no surge protection, and they're having an air source heat pump put in, so that's going to be a significant load added to the system, along with a few other pieces of equipment that are going along with that. So he just wants everything kind of up to scratch, ready for the air source heat pump to be installed. So I'm going to be changing this for a Hager RCBO SPD consumer unit, top of the range, and I'm going to be putting some extra circuits in for the various pieces of equipment that are going to be connected later on by the air source heat pump guys. But then I'm also going to be going around, obviously, just testing everything in the house, make sure everything else is up to scratch. And you know what these things are like, you just never know what you're going to find. So it's going to be interesting to see if I come across any dodgy things lurking around the house. You just never know. But I'm going to get stuck into the board change first and then get that done, because I have a feeling that the wiring itself is probably fairly decent condition, but it might just be a case of a few dodgy bits and pieces that need sorting out. Massive thanks to Consumer Unit World for providing my consumer units. If you go to the link in the description, you can get 10% off from Consumer Unit World using my discount code. So head over to there and check them out, and let's get into it. So as you can see, this is the existing consumer unit, and we've got quite a few circuits here. 10 amp circuits for the lighting, we've got a cooker, garage, 20 amp radial for the garage, central heating, security system, smoke alarms, all the usual stuff really. Looks like 2 ring circuits, one for the kitchen and one for the rest of the house, and one that says appliances, so I'm guessing that's either the utility room, which I'm in now, or the kitchen appliances. Dishwasher timer has been removed. The nice thing about this is there is an isolator switch in the meter cupboard. So if I show you here, we've got a main isolator, so that will allow me to just isolate the tails and change the consumer unit without too much worry. It's a 100 amp main fuse, TNCS system, so the main bonding to the water seems to be in place, but we'll double check that. There is oil as well, but it looks like it is bonded on this side here. You can see just that earth cable coming through there, so I've just got to check to make sure that's actually clamped on properly. So I'm going to just give the customer a heads up that I'm going to turn the power off now and get this thing open. Right, so we have a fairly nice and neat consumer unit, which is rare. So that's quite good actually, it's pretty good. Everything's nicely looped, so there's a little bit of extra slack on these, which is nice to see. The only thing is that the tails come in on the left, and in the new consumer unit they come in on the right. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get a bit of slack on those and pull them across. Otherwise they're going to have fun. We might have to rip the tails out and put new ones in. So have to see how that goes. But this is all dead now, but obviously important to do safe isolation just to check. So I'll just check that on this main switch. All good. So let's get cracking. By the way, if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up. Let's get into it. Right, so before getting massively stuck in, what I've just done is done insulation resistance testing on all of this, just to make sure that there are no kind of dead shorts that are going to cause us problems later. But everything seems to be okay at the moment, so that's good. So I'm just going to start ripping all this off now, labelling everything as I go. So each of the live wires, what I usually do is label it so that I know which circuit it was doing, and then that enables me to put it back in the right place and label it up properly later. Get the board off the wall and then try and rejig things, cut the Hager board into place because I think it's a little bit larger. It's just about going to fit there. It's going to be quite tight, but there should be enough space. So let's get this thing out. Right, so wiring is all kind of ripped out and everything is kind of straightened up. I tried to just straighten all the wires out as much as possible just to get an idea of what's what and how we're going to get the new board up. But just a little note, first bodge found. This is the armoured cable going to the garage, and rather than terminating it properly in a gland, they've literally just kind of taped up the end, cut off a little bit of the armouring here, and used that as the CPC. Obviously it's just a 2-core armoured anyway, so the armouring does need to be used as a CPC, but it's not been glanded properly. So I'm going to hopefully get a gland on it and then just be able to sort of slide it up into the ceiling, and the gland will be invisible, but at least it will be glanded properly. I've got to check the other end as well to see if they've actually glanded it at the other end or not, but that should be fairly easy to sort out, hopefully anyway. These tails are going straight up, but then they go down inside the cavity wall because the meter box is on the other side there, and there's not a huge amount of length on them, so I think I'm going to probably have to remove these and put new ones in, but I just don't know how easy that's going to be to do, so that's going to be a bit of fun as well. We'll see. I think what I'm going to have to do is just cut out a slot in this ceiling here with my multi-tool. I'm going to get rid of this bit of coving anyway and just butt the new consumer unit right up to the ceiling, because it's a bit pointless just to have a little bit of coving like that. So I'll cut this out to the right size, then cut some holes in the ceiling, and then I'll bring the cable straight into the top of the consumer unit and then just fire seal all the holes once all the cables are in. I think that's going to be the best way to do it, really. Right, so I've got a small gland that I can put on that, and then that will just slot up into the ceiling, so that's perfect. That's fairly straightforward. But these tails are too short, I can't pull any more length on them, so I'm going to try and pull in some new flexi tails, but it's not going to be easy because it goes up into the ceiling, then they go through a hole into the cavity wall, they drop down in the cavity wall and then into the meter box. So what I'm going to do is attach these two earth cables together and just see if I can pull it in on the existing earth cable, and I'm just going to have to sort of jiggle it around until it goes through, hopefully. We'll see. So I'm just going to use 2 cores out of this main earth to try and keep the joint as slim as possible while still remaining quite nice and strong. So I tend to bend it back on itself just up to where the sheath ends, and then do the same with the one that I'm pulling in and create a really nice tight smooth joint there, like so. And these ones I can kind of bend back over, just to give it a bit of strength, and then tape the whole thing up. Alright, well, it's time for a rant. I'm absolutely done in, right? So it's now 2:30 and I said, look where I am. So basically, the last thing I was telling you about was, oh yeah, we're just going to pull in some new tails. Just pull in some new tails. Honestly, it's been such a ridiculous faff. So the tails were going down in the cavity wall and they were going sort of up, around at an angle, through a hole in the bricks, then down into the cavity wall, down to the meter box. So I thought, okay, we can just tie on some new tails onto one of the tails or the 16mm earth and then pull the new ones in. 4 hours later, we tried and tried everything. Fishing rods, pulling in, you know, all the different methods, pushing from below, pulling from above. No chance. There's just something in the wall that's like restricting them from getting through basically, and we've just given up in the end. So I feel really frustrated because basically I've wasted most of the day just trying to pull in these tails, which is ridiculous. And the whole thing is just because obviously the customer wanted to avoid seeing any cables, which I understand. I mean, I feel the same if it was my house. So we really gave it our best shot, but there was just no way. So I've just done a trunking now here, running down the wall with the trunking, drilling through at an angle into the meter box and going to run the tails in that way. Because literally, like, I've not even started on mounting the consumer unit up or chasing anything in yet, like dressing any of the cables, and it's like nearly the whole day's gone already. I mean, it was an 1.5 hour drive to get here, so I was hoping to be left here by 3:30. That gives me an hour to finish everything off. There's no way, so it's going to be a long day, I think, unfortunately. It is what it is. Just sometimes you hit these kind of snags and you think, oh, if I just wrestle with it for a little bit longer, maybe I'll get it in, and time just disappears and disappears. And in the end, I just should have given up earlier, really, and avoided wasting so much time. But I was really kind of trying to keep the customer happy because he was helping me to try and pull in these cables, you know, and he was really sort of determined that we could get it done. When in the back of my mind, I knew it just wasn't going to happen, but I didn't have the heart to give up, but yeah, anyway, gonna crack on now, get these new tails in, get the board mounted up, start dressing all the cables in, and then I've got to terminate this armoured because it wasn't glanded, so I'm going to put a gland on that, take it into the top of the board, just cut off the old tail here, and then, yeah, get cracking. Right, so just to add insult to injury, I'm doing the ring continuity tests, and unfortunately there's a very high reading on the neutral, on the main ring for the house, 773 ohms. So something not right there. There's obviously a very loose connection somewhere. I'm not going to have time to fix that today, so I think I'm just going to have to put it on a 20 amp breaker for the moment and then sort it out another day, but very, very unfortunate. Okay, so we're getting there now. Consumer unit, everything's connected up. So that's good. So what I'm going to do now is just do my ZDB testing, and then I'm going to go around and do an R2 wander lead test on everything just to make sure everything's there, and then start livening stuff up. Right, so I've just turned everything back on, and unfortunately this lighting circuit started to trip, and basically it's a dead short neutral to earth. So I've disconnected, there was actually 2 sets of wires going into that breaker, so I've disconnected the set that are faulty here, and I'm going to leave those out and just see what's not working, and then we can at least minimise where the fault is for those particular lights, but that's going to have to be investigated further at some point as well. So we found the problem. There was a direct short neutral to earth, and we've been around all the light fittings that are on that particular circuit, and can you see this? Just a tiny little pinch on this wire here. That was pinched against the metal here, which is earthed, and it was basically creating a dead short neutral to earth. So that's all it was. So easy to find, easy to fix, but of course it was the last light fitting that we checked. Sod's law, but anyway, we've got it, so we can repair that, and that should get all the lights working again. Whew. And what time is it now? I think it's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Half past 7.
Oh, 7:30. Hey, yeah. Nearly time to go home. This is basically a classic bodge right here. Can you see that? So that's the old pendant base, and then they've literally just screwed through with the back plate of this metal light fitting straight over the pendant so that they didn't need to redo the connections. So you can see the pendant connections there, and then they've just screwed that plate straight on top. They've put some kind of plastic behind it to kind of stop the metal digging into the wires, but obviously it wasn't still good enough because they managed to nick the wires anyway. Right guys, when we got there in the end, it is 9:10 in the evening, and finally everything's livened up and working. The lighting fault I showed you, but then actually as I was going around doing my long wander lead test, I found also several metal light fittings that weren't earthed, so I had to correct that as well as I went along. But with there, everything looks quite neat. That trunking has worked out fairly good, so it's all good, ready to go, ready for them to put all their air source heat pumps and stuff in. So we've got now over an hour's drive home, so it's going to be 10:30 probably before I get home. I've not had dinner yet, so I am absolutely knackered, but I'm glad I got it done anyway, and just shows, you know, you never know how a job's going to turn out really. I think in hindsight it would have been good to get an EICR done here first, but you live and learn. I think consumer unit changes now, I'm just going to make it mandatory to always have an EICR before a consumer unit change, because it's just not worth the risk. Even in a fairly new house like this, there's always stuff that needs sorting out. Anyway, if you appreciate my late night work, hit a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and see you on the next one. Thanks for watching and have a great day.